Before the story begins, let me ask you something. Have you ever witnessed a single moment that completely changed the direction of someone's life? The kind of moment that reminds you kindness still exists in this world. If you believe in powerful stories that touch the heart, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this deserve to be shared. Now listen closely, because what an army general did after seeing a single dad janitor will stay with you long after this story ends. General Amelia Grant had faced war zones, led thousands of soldiers through chaos, and made decisions that altered the fate of nations. Yet none of that prepared her for the quiet battlefield she walked into that winter evening, a small, warmly lit diner on the edge of the city. It was her first real dinner with her son, Lucas, in nearly 3 years. Deployments had kept her away during birthdays, school plays, and the everyday moments that stitched a family together. Tonight was her attempt to sew some of that torn fabric back into place. Lucas was 16 now, tall, guarded, and carrying the quiet disappointment of someone who had long stopped expecting promises to be kept. He followed her inside the diner without complaint, but his distance was louder than words. Amelia noticed, of course. A general notices everything. But this was one battle she didn't know how to win. They slid into a booth near the window. Outside, snow drifted gently onto the pavement, muffling the city in a blanket of white. The warmth inside the diner felt almost unreal. A waitress approached, cheerful and tired all at once, and took their order. As she walked away, Amelia finally broke the silence. "You've grown a lot," she said softly. Lucas shrugged. "That's what people do. They grow while you're gone." The words stung more than any battlefield injury. Amelia nodded slowly, accepting the hit without defense. She had earned it. As they waited for their food, Amelia's eyes began to wander, a habit she couldn't turn off. That's when she noticed him. A janitor, pushing a worn mop across the floor near the back of the diner. He moved carefully, deliberately, as if trying not to disturb anyone's peace. His jacket was threadbare, his shoes visibly cracked at the soles. But it wasn't his clothing that caught her attention. It was the child sitting alone in a booth behind him. A little girl, no more than 6 years old, quietly coloring on a greasy paper placemat with a single purple crayon. Her cheeks were smudged with dirt, her hair pulled into uneven pigtails that spoke of hurried mornings and tired hands. Every few seconds, her eyes lifted from the page to find her father. And every time, he gave her a quick smile before returning to his work. Amelia couldn't look away. Lucas noticed her distraction. "You always scan rooms like this?" he asked. "Yes," she replied. "It's hard to unlearn survival." His gaze followed hers and landed on the janitor and the child. He studied them quietly for a moment. They look lonely. The food arrived, breaking the tension. Plates of steaming meals filled the table, but Amelia found she had lost her appetite. Her eyes kept drifting back to the little girl. She had stopped coloring now and was hugging her arms tightly, shivering slightly in her thin sweater. Minutes later, the janitor joined his daughter at the table, removing his gloves and carefully folding them as if they were precious. He poured water into a small cup and pushed it toward her. "You okay, sweetheart?" he asked. She nodded, forcing a smile, the kind children give when they don't want to be a burden. Amelia felt something twist inside her chest. The waitress approached their booth again. "Everything okay?" Amelia hesitated, then, quietly asked, "That man back there, does he come here often?" The waitress sighed softly. "Most nights. He works 3 jobs. Cleans offices during the day, stocks shelves at night, and helps us here just to afford a warm place for his daughter while he works." Amelia's heart sank. Her mother passed away 2 years ago. "Cancer," the waitress whispered. "Since then, it's just been them." That night, Amelia barely tasted her meal. Lucas noticed. "You keep staring," he said quietly. "She reminds me of you," Amelia replied. Lucas stiffened. "How?" "Waiting. Pretending you're okay when you're not." The words settled heavy between them. As they finished their meal, Amelia excused herself and quietly approached the janitor as he returned to his mop. "Excuse me," she said gently. He turned, startled. "Yes, ma'am, she's your daughter." His face softened instantly. "Yes, Lily. She seems like a wonderful child." He smiled with quiet pride. "She is stronger than I'll ever be." Amelia hesitated before asking the question that would change everything. Are you struggling? The man paused, clearly torn between pride and truth. Finally, he nodded. Every day. But I'll figure it out. I always do. Something inside Amelia broke open. She returned to her booth and sat quietly for a long time. Lucas watched her, sensing something shifting behind her eyes. You're thinking about doing something, he said. Yes. Something big, yes. He studied her carefully. Is it about them? She nodded. When they stood to leave, Amelia approached the waitress again and whispered something. The waitress' eyes widened, and she quickly nodded. The janitor finished his shift and returned to Lily, preparing to take her out into the cold night. Before they could leave, the waitress stopped them. Sir, someone paid your bill tonight. And, this is for you. She handed him an envelope. Confused, he opened it and gasped. Inside was enough cash to cover months of rent. His legs nearly gave out. Amelia stepped forward. It's not charity, she said. It's a bridge, just long enough for you to catch your breath. Tears streamed down his face. I don't know how to thank you. She shook her head. You already have. You haven't given up on her. Lucas watched from behind his mother, silent and stunned. But Amelia wasn't finished. The next morning, she made a call to an old friend, a CEO she had once saved during an overseas evacuation. Within days, the janitor was offered a full-time facilities management position with benefits and a stable income. She also arranged scholarships for Lily. When she told Lucas what she had done, he stared at her in disbelief. You changed their lives, he said. So did your silence these last few years, Amelia replied softly. And I almost lost you because of it. That night, Lucas finally spoke the words he had carried for years. I didn't need a hero. I needed a mother. Amelia broke down in tears for the first time in front of her son. I'm here now, she whispered. If you'll let me be. Months passed. The janitor, now Daniel, moved into a small apartment closer to Lily's school. For the first time, she had her own room. Her laughter returned, bright and fearless. One afternoon, Amelia and Lucas were invited to Lily's school recital. She stood on stage in a yellow dress, searching the crowd until her eyes found her father. Then, unexpectedly, she saw Amelia and Lucas beside him. She waved with all her might. Lucas felt something warm rush into his chest, something like healing. Later that evening, as snow fell again outside the diner where everything had begun, Daniel approached Amelia. You didn't just save us, he said. You gave me back my dignity. Amelia shook her head. No, you never lost it. That night, Lucas sat beside her in the car after the recital and said softly, Mom, I think I finally understand why you serve. She looked at him, eyes filled with emotion. Why? Because somewhere out there, someone always needs saving. But sometimes, he added, the people closest to you need you even more. Amelia smiled through tears, and in that moment, the strongest general in the world realized the bravest thing she had ever done was not on any battlefield, it was choosing compassion over pride, and family over distance. So if this story touched your heart, remember this, one act of kindness can create ripples that change many lives, including your own. Never underestimate the power you hold to lift someone up. And never forget, sometimes the unthinkable is the very thing that saves us all.